The rolling back of gay rights from conservative America is intentional. It is strategic. It is to placate to unfounded fears, stoking division across the country from bad faith actors who have grifted their way to powerful positions and clout. It's disgusting, yet calculated. In sports, we have seen breakthroughs with Jason Collins in the NBA, Carl Nassib, formerly of the Raiders and currently with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Prior to him, Michael Sam as a draftee of the Rams. U.S. women's soccer star Megan Rapinoe and her partner, WNBA legend Sue Bird. In the UFC, Amanda Nunes, Raquel Pennington, and Tisha Torres, to name a few, are in the LGBTQ+ community. Yet under Dana White's watch as president, he has used an anti-gay slur to go after a journalist with which he would apologize. White, of course, has aligned himself with modern-day republicanism, a majority of whom do not believe in LGBTQ+ rights. Andrei Arlovsky, with 34 wins to his name, would use the same anti-gay slur White used in a post-fight press conference. Liverpool's Darren Till, who has lost 5 of his last 6 fights, made transphobic jokes on his Twitter account. When facing heat for it, Till doubled down. UFC Prez White liked it and wrote "truth" underneath it, clearly not learning from his mistakes. Cowboy Donald Cerrone and Ireland's Conor McGregor would follow suit as well, using the anti-gay slur uttered by White and Arlovsky, as would McGregor rival Nate Diaz. He would be suspended for it. Then there's UFC fighter Sean Strickland. When asked if he would rather have a gay son or a thought daughter, he responded with, as Out.com puts it, "good old-fashioned homophobia." You can see the tweet here. He then went on to say how he actually supports gay men and how the gays have it made because they are happy and get to have sex with their buddies all day, while straight men have to do some serious work to get laid. Instead of apologizing after his tweets rightfully upset some folks online, Strickland doubled down on the homophobia, saying his tweets were just a joke, while also managing to mock pronouns, and accused those offended by his statements as being beta males. The latest comes from this man, Nate Marquardt, a former fighter in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Long and short, when he saw 2 men kissing, he called the commercial disgusting and claimed he had to turn his son away from the screen. When he faced backlash, he conducted a typical pivot. After defending himself in subsequent tweets, he wrote he was standing up against evil in the media. What followed was this. He would pair together gay rights with pedophilia in another tweet, then quote the Bible as a defense and invoke propaganda. After the publication of this story, Marquardt dug his heels in to defend his stance and cited the Bible. Then he took it a step further and replied to a Twitter user to say gay people are all disgusting, and per his interpretation of the Bible, are sinners worthy of death. He later said homosexuality is destructive to society. Marquardt's MMA career are like his tweets. Disappointing. Really, really disappointing. He was found to have taken a banned substance while he was competing, which resulted in a suspension by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. He was knocked out in the first round by Anderson Silva. After his release in 2011, it was learned he couldn't pass a physical the day before his scheduled fight because of elevated T levels. Disappointment. The UFC has its fair share of issues as it pertains to gay rights, mainly because of their partnerships with a Chechen dictator and their partnerships with the United Arab Emirates, both of whom view the LGBTQ community in a far lesser light, like torture, imprisonment, what have you. One guy that I will shout out, even though there has been some controversy with his name, at least recently, somewhat recently, he gave an interview saying he would totally back and support an openly gay male MMA fighter in the UFC. I would love to hear more of this. I believe Dana White said that he would welcome an openly gay male MMA fighter because of the backlash that he received previously as well. For Patty, it was unprompted. It was in a closed session interview, And he spoke from the heart. And I'd just like to give him some props because it seems like that is not something that a lot of guys go out of their way to say. So kudos to him.